everybody. Wow. My inbox has been lit. Everybody wants tickets to the finale. Phew, guys. I need to start a timer now so we don't run out of time, so I don't accidentally not say goodbye to everybody. The last one was a shambles. I now have my tripod literally with a sack of potatoes wrapped around it so a rabbit can't knock that over. What else? I've taken my mobile data off so nobody can call me during this. So here we are. Marius the Braai was, I didn't stay because I had to rush back for this because of my time mixed up. A lot of you might have seen my stories. Rabbit, I see you. Don't. You see? Come here. Anyway, so I didn't make I have my steak here. I need to I need to cook that after this. Anyway, I don't have anything prepared. I am very unprepared for this one because shambolic. So a lot of you want to know how you can win the tickets to the finale, and that will come right at the end. Like a good broadcaster, I'm going to tease this all the way to the end, and those of you that stay may have an opportunity to win tickets. I have 2 tickets to give away, and I have 2 tickets to give to somebody that LaRue has said, please give this person tickets to the finale. So I essentially have 4 tickets that are going to people who have supported this stream, this recap the whole time. Don't come, Johnny, come lately and be like, I want to join. The question that I have for you, it goes back to my time on the island, but last week's episode as well. So I will give that question right near the end. So yeah, let's get going, guys. What was your initial, okay, Juan Hugo official, here's your shout out. Hello, Khanat. What is your initial thoughts of that episode? Heartbreaker. Excuse the hair, guys. I've been wearing a cap all day, but it is a new fresh cut. Tough one, actually. It was an episode, unfortunately, that sort of played along with the script, right? It went along as all the rest of them have gone along, where the majority is not ready to flip on one another. Yeah, Loudmouth says the episode was a challenge for me, massive tribal, but little other content. So for me, it was interesting, the loved ones. We've been building up to this loved ones reward for so long, anticipating Jacques being there, where he could play that reward still and essentially take the loved one's visit away from somebody. So a lot of themes came through from that loved one's reward. And a lot of themes for me came through on our season as well. Not necessarily with the loved ones' rewards, but things that occurred to me during our season where people who thought that they were wives and husbands, deserved to win Survivor more than anybody else. And I actually was ready for that question at the tribal council. It didn't come up because I thought people were going to give Tom R1 million because he was a father and a husband. And essentially, I actually think that they did do that. But that irritates me a little bit because it never came up at tribal council. Because I had an argument for that. I had a rebuttal for that. I would have said, you know what? Okay, cool, Pale. So then you only deserve it halfway because you're only a mother. You're not a wife. Or PK, you don't deserve it at all because you only a dude. You don't have a wife or a child at home. I would have gone down the jury list and said, okay, cool, Shanae, you only deserve it half because you're not a mom. You're only a wife. That kind of thing has no business in Survivor. I don't care if you are a wife or a husband or a father to 25 people or an adoptive parent to 7. Cool, you're a great human being, but that doesn't mean that you deserve a million rand more than the next person who's also been outlasted, outwitted, and outplayed just as long as you have. And what I found at the Loved Ones Challenge was that Nicole and her entitlement. Also, I didn't know Letitia was going to die soon, because that's also why they took her. Shame, she's not going to be around for much longer. She's on death's door. Let's bring her to the island. What nonsense was that? Gee whiz, I was so frustrated with this episode. There were so many things. Nicole was sitting there going, you denied me a visit from the loved ones, somebody, my second love of my life, wada. Like, what does that have anything to do with who Rob decided to take on that challenge? I mean, he denied Mike from seeing his father. His father is a son, is a father to a son. So where is the logic? Rob could have literally taken any person and it would have been his choice to make. He won the challenge fair and square. In fact, his mom won him the challenge. Nicole, where was your boyfriend? Why did he not win that challenge for you? Then you could have had everything. But the entitlement of this season is just so frustrating for me. And I don't know if it is my own bias, because I'm an underdog, because nobody expects much from me. But I am a single woman, I'm a gay woman, and these people come at me with this entitlement. It's absolutely ridiculous. So because I'm not a mother and I'm not married, that my loved one is less important than yours. What a load of hogwash. So for me, that thread just kept going throughout the episode, and I just found it so frustrating. And it must have been interesting for Steffi to sit there and hear Nicole basically say Steffi didn't deserve to go. But also, that moment where somebody said, Rob says that Steffi gets to go because Steffi being hungry. Yeah, Hannes, 100%. She's, what? It's this, we had this argument as well that men deserve to eat more than women. I was like, okay, why? Because they're bigger? Okay, I probably weigh twice as much as PK did. Do I deserve more food? No, this is not a kind of situation like that. It's so frustrating how every day, like, hierarchical things come up in Survivor, where somebody thinks that they are elevated above somebody else. Look, this episode was hard to watch. And I actually sent a message to Mike to say how difficult it might have been for him to watch that episode. Rabbit? No. How difficult it must have been for Mike, a super fan, to watch that episode and watch how he was basically seeing his whole game just being completely like led by Rob and being turned over by Doral. And at that point in that episode, when he has that realization, he's literally watched it from our point of view the whole time. And then he sits there in tribal council and just has the penny drop. And you can see his come to Jesus moment. And I was just cringing. I was like, oh my God, how bad must this feel right now to have your whole game just like implode on itself. And you realize that you've trusted Nicole and you've trusted Doral, and they've sold you down the river, and now it's too late. You literally have nothing left to play in that situation, at that tribal council. There's your game. You're going home tonight. That is how confident and comfortable Rob was to basically say to Nicole, she read it an interesting way. She thought that her trust was being questioned, but he was basically saying, did these guys get any advantage that we should be aware of? But the whole tribal council for me was so fascinating to watch. The loved ones interplay, the loved ones, hey, Jacques, let me just go through some of these comments because it's already lit, guys. You need to slow down so I can keep up, please. The episode, yeah, I've got that. Most fire tribal, I was here for it, says Taryn. Rodding, other says predictable. I think everyone blindsides each other. Maria says Letitia throwing Nico with the sandbag was the most exciting. That was a pretty good throw. Who are you thinking is going to win Survive South Africa? I will give that to you in a second. Nicole turned into you this week. I did not come here to win a challenge. I came here to win the game. I actually did. I turned to a friend of mine who's on the stream right now and I said to her, those are my words. I said that. I did notice that Letitia is 50. Hey guys, Letitia and her age. Let's see here. What else have we got? Letitia's the queen. Steffi being hungry, almost eating every episode. It's from Hannes. The episode's getting interesting every Thursday. Yeah, we're running out of episodes, guys. We've got 2 left. Who do you think is going to win Survivor? I love how while Mike and Dara took it, they brought a lot of light-hearted humor to this episode, which was missing. I think both Mike and Dara both cringed the entire episode. Dara figuring out that he's being played was priceless. Yeah, somebody actually pointed out to me, oh, it was Van, he sent me a voice note to ask me that laughter, that crazy kind of high five guy, that interaction between Mike and Doral, and Mike turning around to Rob and saying well played, and was that just like nervous laughter? Had they literally lost their minds? Like, what was playing out in that moment at Tribal when they kind of went a bit hysterical? And I could only put it down to just the penny dropping and them realizing what fools they have been up until that moment. And again, it must have been very difficult to watch. You've now seen everybody's behind the scenes. You've seen how people are coming for you and taking you along for a ride, and and you know that episode is coming. Oh, guys! Mike's response to that, and I asked him how difficult it was to watch the episode, and he said to me, "I'm glad it's over." So it must have been horrific to watch that season. Somebody like Mike, who's a super fan, and I'm not sure of Daral's like fandom credentials, not that any one fan is better than the other, but I know that Mike is a student of the game. He based his game on another former player, it must have been very difficult. I mean, I cringed a lot of my game as well because I knew I was going to the end, and a lot of it I'm watching people just putting my name on the chopping block and it just never materializes, and I was blindly trusting people, and I mean, it didn't really do me any harm at the end, but just some credit to Mike watching those episodes. I think Doral probably has less of a... I almost think because people didn't expect there to be much gameplay from him. People underestimated him, so I think almost him not realizing what was happening was kind of true to form. But I think a lot of people had a lot more expectations from Mike. Certainly as a viewer we did. And the jury, a lot of the juries, I don't know if you watched the Ponderosa stuff, but a lot of the jury wanted to give the money to Mike. And now, so it's really difficult. You guys keep asking me who's going to win Survivor. I'm terrible at choosing these things, but it's hard not to see Rob winning. And bear with me, the throw forward to the next episode is interesting because let's keep in mind how many idols we have in play right now. Rob has 2, doesn't he? Nicole has 1. And Letitia has 1. So, I saw them make a pact in the throw forward to the episode that they won't play their idols and that none of them will play their idols. The only way that Rob doesn't go home is if he doesn't play his idol and he doesn't win individual immunity. Rob only has 1. So it doesn't matter how many he has because he can only play them at the next episode. And essentially what might happen, and this is my prediction, is that somebody wins, that Doral wins. Let's go out on a limb here and say Doral wins immunity. And there is a reward challenge and an immunity challenge at the next one, I think. We only had 1 challenge this episode because they're running out of time, right? They don't have enough days to get rid of all the people they need to get rid of to have a final 3, which we know is confirmed. The next episode, there will be a reward and an immunity challenge, I think. So, Rob has said in a previous episode that he would have played his idol the episode where I think Jacques goes home. If Jacques had pulled out an idol, he would have played his. So I'm thinking that probably any vote where there's an idol played, Rob would play his. So unless Letitia and Nicole are confident enough to sit at the final tribal council where you can play an idol and confidently sit there and not play their idol and all vote for Rob. I don't know how confident anybody is at this time. I will say it again. You have zero, and the people who do are on some kind of a miracle drug, because you have very little control over your paranoia at this stage. You are hungry. You watch Jacques Ponderosa video where he talks about how difficult it is to operate properly. Like you and I watching the episode, we can make logical thoughts. It happens quickly. We're making snap decisions. On the island, you haven't slept properly for 36 days in at the moment. 36 days without a proper night's sleep. You ask any mother who has a colicky child how crazy you'll go without sleep. You're not eating properly. You've just had an emotional roller coaster because your loved ones either A, were there, or B, were not there. And I will say this much, that I think it was kind of a blessing that the people who didn't get their loved ones to visit went to Islands of Secrets. I turned around at our survivor watching party and I said to everybody, trust me when I say that them going to Islands of Secrets was the best thing for them. And I don't know if production listened to my bitching and ranting about how difficult it was to have other people's loved ones just over there and hear them joking and eating food and smelling the food right on the same island. It was absolutely awful, and my downward spiral, that was when I started to lose my mind and my hold on my emotions at that stage. So, it's going to be interesting to see, because if they all play their idols, Letitia has an idol, can't vote for her. Let's say Rob plays his idol, he didn't win individual immunity. Nicole plays her idol, she didn't win individual immunity. She plays her idol. So either Steffi or Doral wins, hopefully, individual immunity. That means that one person is eligible to be voted for. Let's say one of the people win individual immunity. So Rob wins individual immunity. You can't vote for him. Letitia wins individual immunity. She's got an idol. She plays it. Nicole is immune. That leaves two people. So either one of them is going to vote for one another, then they re-vote, and people are going to have to flip and re-vote and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to put it out there. And I've been saying this for a long time, that I think Steffi goes home in the next episode. Who goes top three? Anybody who sits next to Rob loses. Let's quickly go down to the comments. How do you watch your reviews? You have to go to YouTube. Can't find it. Search for my name, Jeanne Michel, on YouTube. You'll find it. Or the link is in the bio, and you go watch the previous ones. Interesting how Letitia stood up for Rob at Tribal when Nicole called him out for not picking her for the reward in final two. Yeah, look, Letitia, I don't know if we only seeing little bits of the edit, but she's certainly not one to mince her words. And I don't know if you noticed, but Rob's face in this tribal council was like, he was like, oh my God, everything is just unraveling. And all he asked Nicole was, did they get any advantage at Islands of Secret that I should have known about? But you could see he stepped up into that mafia boss role, didn't he? He was like, Minion, did anything happen? I sent you there for a reason. You didn't get to see your boyfriend or eat. Sorry for you, but give me the information. And there was almost a moment where Nicole seemed as if she wasn't going to play along. That was an exciting moment at Tribal Council, but nothing eventually came out of it. Do you think it was a brilliant game on Rob's part, asking Mike why he was coming for him? Or do you think Rob is just very entitled? Hashtag the king. I don't think Rob and Nicole give two hoots about the people on the jury. I do think that there is an entitlement, and one of the jury members said, I don't know if it was Jeff, who mentioned that there's so much entitlement. And again, I turned to everybody at the Survivor watching party and I said, yeah, entitlement, isn't that what I've been saying for 17 weeks? There is a lot of entitlement coming from Rob, but I guess that's what happens, and I'm not blaming him at all. He seems like the most incredible human. What I find interesting is that, and this is, you don't understand how difficult it is. So your paranoia, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, gets really intense And with somebody like Rob, who has been comfortable for the majority of the game, he has been in a solid 3 alliance or solo alliance for a long time. And I think that he had a moment of a mental, like a brain fart, where he just said, I'm sticking with my alliance from I'm sticking from my alliance from day one. And you could see Mike and Doral went, none of us are original Saola, and we weren't with you from day one, so what does that mean? And you could see Rob like, oh crap, I've just done this. But he's so comfortable that he can actually do and say whatever he wants. The only thing he needs to keep into consideration now is what's going to happen on the jury. But honestly, does Rob lose to anybody left in the game? Does Rob lose against Doral and Letitia? Does Rob lose against Doral and Nicole? Does Rob lose against Nicole and Steffi? Does Rob lose against Doral and Steffi? Does Rob lose against Nicole and Letitia? I don't think there's any combination. If Rob makes it past Final 4, he wins Survivor. That is my prediction, downright. Nobody can take away from the fact how much control and domination he had over this game. You can be like, I don't like him, he's arrogant, he played with entitlement, whatever it is. At the end of the day, those jury members have to judge him on outwit, outlast, outplay. Did he do all those things? Yeah, probably better than everybody else. That's my opinion. I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. Look, none of us thought that I would win. I say none of us because I didn't know either was going to win those last 2 challenges. That changes everything. Whoever wins and gets to decide who they take to the final 3, there's a lot of power that comes with that. And it's a massive decision. And you also have to take into consideration who is sitting on the jury. Who are the jury members? Are they going to vote along formal tribal lines? You don't know. But essentially, in my opinion, if I was sitting on the jury and looking at the people who are on the jury, Jeffrey, Mike, Jacques, Meryl, you're looking at people, Dante, they are fans of the game. Those are some of the strongest players sitting there. Unfortunately, they didn't outlast. They're sitting there and they're probably going to award it to the person who played the best game. Jacques has mentioned that he's going to give it to the person who owns their game. My mom nudged me that day and said, you see, you should have owned your game. And I didn't. Again, a lot of that has got to do with my self-deprecation, is that I don't know when I'm being great. Even coming out of my mouth, that sounds like really arrogant and cocky. But I did play a really good game. I just didn't own it. And I didn't know how good it was until I got home and watched it on TV. It's such an interesting conundrum, everybody. You have no idea. Jeanne, do you think there'll be another season straight after this one? So I have been in communication with the producers of the show. I can honestly say at this point, I don't know. It all depends on money, I think, guys. Survivor is very expensive to produce. Is Mnet going to have the money to give Afrikaans another shot at making this incredible season? I don't. The honest truth is, I don't think anybody at this point knows 100%, and I don't know when we will know. So that is my official answer. They just need to get to vote Rob off because he's the biggest threat. Yeah, but what if he wins individual immunity and he's also sitting with an idol in his bag? So unless he has a complete mental breakdown, he's going to play his idol at the next tribal council, will be my prediction. Then he stays. Then he wins. Hands down. Doral, he deserves to win the game. He's so... Duan Hugo. Who's Duan Hugo? And why does he deserve to win? No Rob has won. Okay. That's saying how many idols he has. Do you think the 3 girls will join together to take the guys out? That's a possibility, but it all depends on if he wins immunity. He's pretty much secure the next round. That's final 5. That's the moment that I got rid of Vanner. But I won that challenge. Rob is very strong in challenges, as was Vanner. You don't know what's going to happen. Survivor is so unpredictable. If it's a long endurance challenge, we don't know what's going to happen. It would be interesting, Tribal Council, if Doral wins immunity next week. I agree. And that would, for me, as a super fan, would be the best outcome is if Doral wins immunity and everybody plays their idols and Steffi is sitting there without an idol and nobody saves her. That will be hard for her to watch and unfortunate, but I think that will be a great spin. But for me, an even better spin would be is if Doral wins and everybody manages to convince Rob not to play his idol, and none of them do, and they all agree between themselves. And if Doral can keep a secret, then they all tell Rob Doral's going home or Steffi's going home, or they sell something, and all of them pile their votes on Rob, then he goes home. But what are the chances of sitting at the final 5 tribal council with an idol in your pocket, knowing 2 other people have idols in their pockets, and you don't play it? That will be the most unfortunate thing for Rob to watch if that happens. And I know there is, when an idol sits in your pocket, there is a panic that sets in, and Maba spoke about it, the inner voice versus what she was feeling and reading of the room, and she should have listened to her inner voice. I don't know whether Rob is so confident and so comfortable in that final moment where he would not play the idol because they all agreed not to play their idol. If somebody makes him believe that that is his decision, or if that was his choice or his advice, it's going to be, guys, this next episode is either going to be really boring or it's going to be firecrackers. So it's going to be so interesting to watch. Somebody says Doral's going to win, or someone with an idol and immunity can give the idol to Steffi or Doral. Yeah, exactly. So it all depends. For me, this game is still anybody's game. And I think the final episode will be more interesting. And hats off to Rob. I think he's played an incredible game. I honor and respect him as a Survivor player. He has played an immaculate game. The problem is that you have to play it all the way to the end, and you've got to... Somebody like Rob, who's been should have been a target a lot sooner and a lot earlier on in the game, can't take his foot off the gas right now. He's got to play strategically. The problem is that you've been so comfortable for so long, you might lull yourself into a false sense of security. It's going to be boss. Rob's face when Steffi meet her loved one. Did you think he suspects something about Steffi being on Islands of Secrets? Yeah, there is, I think there was a bit of wondering what had happened on Islands of Secrets, because you didn't really get anything. And what was her original story that she spun? I can't even remember. Oh, she got rice, I think. Yeah, she said she got rice and nobody believed her. And then they thought she had an advantage. And then she said now that she actually got a clue to the loved ones challenge being the next episode, which she managed to keep to herself as well. That she knew, obviously, because she had the visit. But no, she didn't tell anybody that her loved one was on the island. I don't know if anybody knew that until they watched the episode. That moment where Letitia tells everybody that she has an idol. How many of you did like an outward gasp? Like, is nobody capable of keeping a secret on Survivor? It seems impossible. So that's interesting. The stress was literally so big. I hated the advertise. Oh yeah, the ads are hard. Actually, we watch it 10 minutes delayed just so that we can skip through the ads. That's a bit of advice for you. If they do America top 3 with fire making, final immunity challenge is at top 4. Rob will win fire making challenge. So if it's American final, next week is final week for Rob to get out. I don't know if they will do what the Americans have done. I know that LaRue is a huge fan of the American one, but he's also knows where they make mistakes because he reads all the the Reddit threads on Survivor South Africa, International Survivor. He listens to the podcasts. He's a huge fan of the Survivor fandom. And I know that he knows that the fire making challenge is not everybody's favorite cup of tea. So if they do go that way, I will be very surprised. I think they will do what they did with our season. They will have it looks like there's a reward challenge and an immunity challenge, which is cool because that reward challenge gives, I would assume that 2 people will go on the reward. Then it gives 3 people the majority. So let's say, for example, Rob wins the reward. And he's, for instance, take Steffi. because she hasn't eaten. Or he takes Doral because he sees Doral as the only person on the bottom. I'm onto something. He wins reward. He takes Doral so he can give Steffi, Nicole, and Letitia an opportunity because they're all within his alliance. Everything's fine. He's got them under control. They come up with the plan that Rob has to go. And none of them will play their idols. So he doesn't play his idol. Then the immunity challenge. If Rob doesn't win, then Rob goes home. That's my prediction. If Rob wins and he doesn't give away his idol to somebody, Steffi goes home. So I've got two predictions. Again, I don't know. I felt this was the first week Nicole played to the jury. The tears made her look like a victim when she knew in advance she wouldn't be seeing her loved ones. Hey, Nicole and her tears, guys. Every time I see a tear, I want to weep. I'm like, don't you know there's water restrictions? Mike and his dad was also a highlight in this episode. So cute. Mike is a vibe all by himself. I adore his just... And again, we forget that he's 21 years old, everybody. 21. He's still a daddy's boy, clearly. Like, he's just in university or finished university. Who knows? But he's 21. Like, that joy that he had for his, seeing his father was just incredible. And then his father just crying like he was. It was just, I loved that episode. There were so many highlights for me in terms of, like, really good feel-good moments. And then I thought the tribal council, I don't know. Out of interest, how much is production budget for Survivor South Africa? I don't know. This year they got a little increase on their budget. I don't know what their overall budget was. All I know is they got a little bit more money for this one. I think the logistics were a little bit more expensive for this season, purely because they were out in Samoa. Graham Jenica, who was the winner of the season 5, is asking, will they steal Rob's idol? Graham, the rules changed since your Survivor. They cannot steal idols. When you get an idol, you get a long list of rules, and one of them is that you can't steal other people's idols. They can give it to you, but you cannot steal it. So nobody's going to be stealing anybody's idol. That unfortunately, I think fortunately, because if you've got an idol, you can't have it with you all the time, and that sucks if somebody can just take it away from you. So in the rules, you actually can't steal idols in South African Survivor anymore. Taryn says, I might be so annoyed at Rob's game, but he deserves it because he was never rude to anyone and he never really made fake promises. He had minions to do it and he got people to believe it was their idea. Yeah, it's true. You cannot fault Rob's game. He's played a solid, smart, charming, socially aware game, and he's had a lot of strong people around him to do his work for him, so they often come off as the bad guy, and if he makes it past Final 4, he's got R1 million to himself, I think. If Doral wins immunity and gives his idol, fake idol, to Steffi, oh my god, why have we not heard anything about this fake idol? I don't know where that fake idol is, because we haven't heard anything. It's like maybe it came out to episode 6 or something that he had the fake idol, and now we're here and we've not heard a single thing about the fake idol. So I don't know, maybe he uses it, I don't even know, maybe he forgot that he has it. It's Doral, anything is possible. For a season called Islands of Secrets, nobody has kept a secret at all, Sheldon. That's pretty funny, actually, that nobody's able to keep any secrets. Why do you think Letitia told Steffi and Rob about her idol? Why not keep it a secret? Jacques Phillips, I don't know why. I really, really, really don't know why. There is something about money burning a hole in your pocket. Well, apparently an idol burns a hole in your mouth or something. I don't know. You just want to vomit the information. No, Taryn. Doral lost his fake one that he made in the ocean, but then he got an idol that was only worth using for 1 vote. So he still has an idol. I think he still has it, because every time his name comes up, it still says fake idol. So he actually has an idol, a proper South African Survivor idol that has no power. So it is a fake idol. I love that twist. I love that it's there, but nobody's used it. It could have been, imagine if that had been given to somebody when Jacques' vote was there, and he was going to play his idol, and had Doral actually had the smarts to use it in a way that would have had an impact on the game. That moment would have been incredible. I would have been here for that. Nicole was somehow playing a solid social game because she was able to convince people that she was with them till now, similar to what Robbie's doing. 100%. Somebody pointed out, I think in the Reddit thread, and because we are watching it from the outside, I think a lot of us have a certain opinion of the game that Nicole has played. But if you look at it holistically, she actually has had a really solid game. She has had relationships with a lot of people. She managed to get through the splits and make it back to her original Samoa members. And she hasn't annoyed a lot of people. And even half the jury members were sitting there not knowing that Nicole was the one spreading information, getting the information. So Mike was convinced that Nicole was on their side. And every time they went for votes, I don't know how they were not adding things up. Because it's fascinating, but 100%, 100% correct. Nicole has had a flawless game as well. I think we might not like her because of the way she manipulated people and the way that her lies have come across. It seems a little bit too far. The thing with Jacques, I think, has tainted a lot of us against Nicole. But let's remove our personal thoughts and feelings about Nicole. She's actually played a really smart game, a really socially aware game that some other people haven't been able to do. So you have to give Nicole credit where credit is due. So I will put my personal ideas aside, and I will say 100% if Nicole makes it with Rob, I think that if Nicole and Rob sit next to one another, that would be quite an interesting final tribal council. It's a good thing they can't steal anymore. Jacques would have been a billionaire in idol currency, imagine. Lara, why is my connection delayed? I don't know. Can you go on Survivor twice? I guess you can, Jordan, if they invite you. I don't know. I've never done it, so I'll let you know. Also, Nicole fully earned Rob's trust again, despite all the tension and the Nathan vote off. Yeah, I don't think that Rob doubts Nicole's loyalty at all. In fact, when he asked her if anything happened on the Islands of Secrets, I think she read, so she heard one thing, he said one thing, she heard something else. And he had to go back and say, Nicole, I'm not questioning your loyalty at all. We all know it's one of the reasons he sent her there, because he trusts her. He was asking if Mike or Doral got any kind of advantage that he should know about. And at this point, they can play that way. They can play open, out in the open. And I think all of us have been hoping for that moment where they have discussions out in the open. I mean, Nico had said before when Jacques played his idol up front, and he said to them, does anybody want to have a conversation? Does anyone want to say anything? And everyone's like, nope. So I think we've been hoping for this kind of fireworks at Tribal Council, and it hasn't happened. So yeah, it's look, I think the episodes are going to be fireworks next week. So we've got one more episode. That is the penultimate episode, and then we'll go into an hour long, maybe an hour and a half long episode, the finale. So what will happen there is they will go from at the end of the penultimate there will be 5. Are they 5 now? Wait, they're 6 now. Doral, Nicole, Steffi, Rob, Letitia, Mike is gone. So there's 5 now. They will go down from 5 to 4. In the final episode, they will have a challenge where it goes from 4 to 3, and the person will win immunity. And then because it's final 3, they won't have another one after that. So I don't know. Anything's possible in Survivor. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. Who do you think dominated more, Vanna or Rob? It's different. I think it's a different game. I think they've both played superb social games. I think that Rob actually is probably, now that we've got this far, Rob has probably played where he's more likely to get votes from the jury. I think Vanner, when we looked at it at the end, in theory he should have got a lot of votes from the jury, but I'm not sure that he would have got as many as we all thought he would have, because somehow they really disliked him. So it would have been an interesting final tribal council if I'd gone with Vanner. I probably would have lost, but I think some people like Tony would never have voted for Vanner, and she would have had to vote for me. So it's a very difficult thing to call, but I think that they have both had supremely amazing social games. I think that they have dominated. I think with Rob it's been a little more camouflaged by other people making moves for him, than where Vanner was clearly, on the jury's perspective, the one in control. I think the jury knows that Rob's in control, but it's less obvious. The jury is very quiet this season, Jordan, and I'm very happy about it. I mean, I live for the drama, but as a player, it's hard because you start to read things into what the jury is doing at Tribal Council. And I made decisions for my game that cost me R1,000,000 based on the jury's response at Tribal Council. So it's hard for me to agree with the jury being extra vocal. I think they can roll eyes and stuff, but when you literally can hear what they're saying, that's really, really disruptive to your game, which happens on the island and not at Tribal Council and not on the jury. You have to play to the jury, but it's hard. It's really hard when you are being fed and sent messages from the jury. I hate Tom, I hate Tom, I hate Tom. Then I take Tom to the final and you vote for Tom. That was really, really tough for me. It sounds as if it's an excuse, and yes, I didn't give as much as I should have at the final Tribal Council, but I was getting a lot of messages from the jury, and then when I got to final Tribal Council, and when I got to final Tribal Council, I didn't kick Tom when he was down because I knew the jury hated him, and that's what they'd been giving us, and then I took my foot off the petrol. And it cost me R1,000,000. So yeah, it's very difficult watching the jury and wanting drama, but also knowing how it affects the game that you're playing on Survivor. We are at 40 minutes in. We've got 20 minutes remaining. Anybody have questions that I haven't gotten to? Jeffrey's reactions at the jury, I love it too. What do you think of an all-star season? I think an all-star season for South African Survivor is great. I do think that it wouldn't be all all-stars because we've only had seven episodes, 7 seasons. And besides probably till about 6, I doubt whether you remember much more before that. A lot of them were filled with celebrities playing, and to be honest with you, I don't enjoy watching celebrities play Survivor. I'd much prefer meeting people like Darrell and meeting people like Letitia on an island, meeting people like Jacques and Ting Ting. Those people are much more interesting to me than watching somebody that I've already seen on Instagram or know a little bit about or have seen on TV before. That's what I love about South African Survivor, is we've sort of left that celebrity thing away. But I think that maybe it would be more of a fans versus favorites kind of episode, and maybe we take top 10, top 9 of the previous seasons, and we have a fans versus favorites. But who knows if there's going to be another one? I'm sure at the end of this Survivor, if there is going to be another one, we will know about it. But I have absolutely no idea and have no personal insight into that. I think I've shared as much as I already know. I love the Ponderosa episodes. It's like a mini camp that side. It's kind of like a Big Brother / with like Survivor. It's quite entertaining, although we are getting edited videos. I also love the Ponderosa episodes. What would you have done with $1,000,000? Hannes, it just would have been a little bit of comfort. I wouldn't have lived an extravagant life. It's only R1,000,000, and I know it sounds like a lot, but in reality, it's not that much money. I would have probably sent my parents overseas to go and see my brother. I probably would have bought a house. Then that's all you can really do with R1,000,000. So yeah, it's irrelevant. I don't have R1,000,000. Instead of a conventional all-star season, a season 5 versus season 6 versus season 7 would be lit AF. But here's a question. If you could choose now a Castaway, let's say it's a fans versus favorite, so that's essentially 9 or 10 people. Who of the castaways would you like to see come back onto Survivor All-Stars / fans versus favorites? In fact, let's do 20. Let's say your top 20 people from Survivor South Africa to come back to play. If we were going to do 2 tribes, 20 people. Otherwise, your top 9. Who would they be? We've spoken about this. Myself and Van and a bunch of the other castaways have spoken about who would you like to see play again. Who do you think is, firstly, who would actually go back? Because that's a big question. A lot of people, I think, would say no. It's that hectic, guys. It's that hectic that given the opportunity to play again, not everybody would say yes. Hey, Fadil, you are very late, bruh. You are very late. Yeah, shit, Ting Ting, vote for her to win a car. Yeah, guys, if you want your castaway to win something, your favorite castaway, go and vote on Mnet's page. You can win a car, but they could also win a car. Vanna won because people loved him, and they loved the game that he played. But Katinka was top. Who else was in there? Katinka, Vanna, I can't remember. Rob and Tom, Shane, Marion, Graham, Sivu, Boutle, Moira, definitely Vanna, season 6 Vanna, Tony Pika, Annalise Palesa. We would love to have Jacques, Vanna, Katinka, Jeanne and Tony, Tony, Marion, Zavion, you and Jacques, Graham, Zavion, you, Vanna, PK, Tony, Jeffrey, Nicole, Rob and Palesa. Hey. Season 7, Jacques, Jeff, Rob and Steffi and Nicole. Fadil is always late. Hey, Fadil. Also, Zavion from season 5 would be a good lock. There's one question. Let's just put this. Oh, there's a couple of questions here. Commenting should be fine. Let's go here. Top 3 prediction. Hey, it's hard. I can't give a final because anything can happen. Survivor, bruh. If I would put who I don't think is going to be there. Well, that's essential. I don't think, I think, I don't know, guys, I don't know. It's too difficult to call. I don't know, have a top 3. It's far too difficult. Okay, I'll get to the question in a second. Who do you think is going to win Survivor? Jordan, I've been there. I honestly don't know. Okay, so let's explain what's going to happen. I have 4 tickets to this final of Survivor South Africa, which is on the 12th of September. Do not take part if you cannot be in Cape Town on the 12th of September. Right. So last week, it was a shit show, excuse my language, of a video. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. But there was one thing that I was wearing from my time on the island. If you know the answer, don't write it in the comments. Don't write it in the comments. Stop. You need to inbox me the answer, because if you give it away now, everybody's going to have the answer. You need to inbox me with the right answer to that question. What was I wearing in last week's episode that I was wearing on the island? Don't give it away. What was I wearing? Okay, so obviously it's an item or a piece of clothing or something. Send me an inbox message after this with your name and your email address and where you live. I can't fly you to Cape Town, so if you're in Johannesburg, you would need to get yourself to Johannesburg. But if you get the answer right, I'll do a live after this or maybe tomorrow with the person who's going to go. And then the second set of tickets, I have been told by LaRue that I can give it to, drumroll please, Marius, congratulations. Your tickets to... Get away here, Jacques. Your tickets, you booked to come to Cape Town. He's already booked tickets. He didn't know that he was winning tickets to come to the finale. Marius, congratulations. LaRue said that he would love to have you there. And Marius, you're getting 2 tickets. And I would love it if you could invite one of the other people from this thread and this stream, if you don't already have somebody who's coming to Cape Town with you, to take the second ticket. I would love it. Missy CK isn't here today, or Casey, but Laura Duplessis is also a massive fan and has been on these threads since day one. So if any of you want to hit him up for that other ticket, you will need to inbox him, go follow him. The question, Jacques Phillips, is what was I wearing from the previous episode, my previous recap, that I was wearing on my time on the island? That is the hint. So I will take one person who's got the correct answer, and I will take and Marius will be coming to the finale. He booked tickets. He didn't even know that he was coming. He's already booked tickets from Lanseria to Cape Town to be here on Thursday, the 12th of September. And we will be going to the finale. So it's really cool. Let me tell you what's going to happen. So they are recreating the tribal council, which they do at every finale of Survivor. And then they are going to have, so the people who get to go to the finale, which by the way is only like, I think 300 to 400 people. I'm not even sure what the final number is. They get invited. There's registration that opens at 4:30, and then they will have some of the Survivor games that you can play to try them out. So I'm going to have a lot of fun going to play some of the games. And then, for those of you who are still here, you haven't left in a huff and a puff to go and see what I was wearing last time. Then, next week, Sunday, I'm going with some friends to drive to Dwarskerspos, where Dante's coffee shop is. And we're going to go just all gang up and arrive at Dante's coffee shop. So if you are in Cape Town and you fancy a trip up the West Coast, meet us at Columbine Coffee, I don't know, probably around midday-ish, and we will go and have a chat about Survivor. We will go and have a coffee. There will be some of these season characters there with us. I can't say who because they might be in trouble, but we will definitely go and have a chat with Dante, and if you want to be there, take a drive. Yeah, Lem and I, Jacques and I will do a puzzle off. We will do a race to see who's best at. But Jacques, you've probably already played the puzzle. That doesn't. Okay, we'll take one. We'll do one from your season, then we'll do one from my season, and see who wins. Maybe we'll do best of 3. We'll see. Nadine is here. She's from Mnet. Road trip. Meet us there, Laura. Yeah, Missy, Casey, where have you been? You're so late. Hey. Okay, so we've got 10 minutes left. If there's anything that we haven't covered, we will do one next week. We will do another recap next week. We'll give you feedback on our trip up the West Coast. In fact, somebody might join us next week for a little bit. But let's see what happens. How much trouble they'll get in. No, they can't. Hey, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, if you want to join us, we're going up the West Coast. We're taking a drive to, it's called Columbine Coffee Company or something like that. Just Google Dante Coffee Shop. It'll bring you the details. And yeah, so that's it, guys. Next week, we will do this one more time. No, we'll do it second last time. We will have another recap. Maybe it won't be on the Sunday because I might still be tired from the party because I'm taking the Friday off. It's going to be lit. I'll do some videos from the finale, all that sort of stuff. But guys, thank you so much for supporting. And a lot of people did a lot of homework. They went back and watched the videos. So thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for always asking great questions and yeah, being so involved. And to all the people who've been here from like the first episode, thank you guys. You're always so great. This comment section is always lit. And yeah, we look forward to chatting again next week. But anyway, good night. Last time I didn't get to say good night, so now I have a nice long goodbye. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a great week. And here's to more incredible Survivor in next week's episode. It's literally anybody's game. So until then, we will chat again. If you have anything to add during the episodes, catch me on Twitter, catch me on Instagram. It's all there. And we can chat privately during the episode and send me gifts. Send me, not gifts, GIFs, however you say that. Bye, everybody. We'll catch you next time. If you missed it, Fadil, I'm speaking to you. And Missy Casey, I'm speaking to you. It'll be on YouTube a bit later. Bye, everybody. Chat soon.